And this, of course, related to trigonometric integrals. Now, when these trigonometric integrals contain any of the following, okay, so when the integrand contains any of these three types, no? So we have a squared minus u squared. Okay, so first, uh, or first case, okay, so when integrand contains, okay, case number one, if you see an a squared minus u squared in the integrand, okay, where a is a constant and u is the variable, okay? So a is the constant and u is the variable. Of course, you can take any letter, no? So it can take x, y, or any other letter, no? As long as a is the constant, okay? So if the constant is the first one written, okay, so a squared minus u squared, this integrand is transformed, okay, using a substitution. Let u be equal to a sine theta, okay? So when the integrand contains a squared minus u squared, use the substitution u is equal to a sine theta. Of course, you can also substitute x. So let x is equal to a sine theta, pwedeng x instead of u. And case number two, when the integrand contains u squared plus a squared. This time, the sign is positive between the variable and the constant. Okay? So if the integrand contains u squared plus a squared, where u is the variable and a is the constant again. Okay, this time the substitution is let the variable be equal to a tangent theta. Okay? So let the variable u or x be equal to a, which is the constant, times the tangent of the angle theta. And case number three, when the integrand contains u squared minus a squared. Okay, the substitution is letting the variable u be equal to a, which is the constant, times secant theta. Okay? Now, case number three, take a look at case number three and case number one. Nag-reverse lang yung position ng variable tsaka constant. Okay? Sa case number one, the positive term is the constant, a squared, minus the variable squared. Sa case number three, nauna yung variable squared. Okay? U squared minus the constant squared. That's the difference. Okay? Now, yung case number two, hindi kayo you cannot be confused, no, with case number two, because that's the only substitution wherein both the variable and the constant are positive. No? That's why plus yung ano nila, sign in between. No? So siya lang yung positive. Whereas case 1 and case 3, merong minus. Okay, so only the position of the variable and the constant differs. No? So sa case number 1, it's the constant that is written first, then minus the square of the variable. And then sa case number 3, it's the variable squared minus the constant squared. Okay? And the substitution is the variable is equated to a secant theta. Okay? So it is assumed that the angle theta is always an acute angle, no? An angle less than 90 degrees. Okay, let's take an example. So for example, we have the indefinite integral of x dx divided by the square root of 4 minus x squared. Okay? So we can see an integrand, we have 4 minus x squared, resembling nauna yung constant. Okay? So it is case number 1. It falls under case 1. No? So ang gagawin nyo lang is you make the constant squared. So you take the square root of 4. Okay? You take the square root of 4 such that it becomes 2 squared minus x squared. Okay? So it is 2 squared minus x squared follows the a squared minus u squared. Okay? So therefore, the substitution is this one. Gagamitin natin yung let u be equal to a sine theta. Okay? So letting u be equal to x, kasi yun yung sa given, makes use of x. So let that be equal to u. So let u be equal to x. So therefore, we use the substitution u is equal to a sine theta. So that is x. Okay. X is equal to 2. Kasi yung a natin is square root of 4, which is 2. Di ba? So x is equal to 2 sine theta. Okay. Now, after this substitution, x is equal to 2 sine theta, you take the differential of both sides. Okay, so differential of x is dx. Okay, 2 being constant, so you just copy 2 and take the differential of sine, which is positive cosine. Okay, so 2 cosine theta d theta when taking the differential of both sides. Okay, so having this one, of course, sine theta, okay, sine theta is equal to x over 2 is taken from the substitution. Okay? So dividing both sides by 2, we have x over 2 is equal to sine theta. Doon lang naman to nanggaling, no? Doon sa substitution. Okay? So what is next? Okay, next is you draw a right triangle. Okay? So how are you going to draw the right triangle? You go back to the substitution. Eto. Okay? X is equal to 2 sine theta, or solving for sine theta is equal to x over 2. Now, having known that sine theta is opposite, di ba? Opposite over hypotenuse. So therefore, make a right triangle, and theta is the acute, and opposite the angle theta is x. And then the hypotenuse is 2. Okay, so ito siya. So if you draw a right triangle, then this is the acute angle. Opposite of the angle is x. And then the hypotenuse is 2. So therefore, using Pythagorean Theorem, you can now represent the other side of the right triangle, no? The other leg. Okay? So using Pythagorean Theorem, this is the square root of the hypotenuse squared minus x squared. So this is the square root of 4 minus x squared. Okay? So this is now the figure. And from the figure, you can derive the cosine of the angle. And cosine, we know it is adjacent. So ito yung adjacent, which is square root of 4 minus x squared divided by the hypotenuse 2. And that's why we were able to derive cosine theta is equal to the square root of 4 minus x squared all over 2. Okay? So having derived all of this, we can now solve the problem by substitution. Okay, x is 2 sine theta, right? Nandito siya. Ito, x is equal to 2 sine theta. dx, what is dx? When we take the differential of both sides, so ito yung dx. 2 cosine theta d theta. So substitute this also. So 2 sine theta times 2 cosine theta d theta. So this is differential in x. Divided by the square root of 4 minus x squared. But what is square root of 4 minus x squared? O, ito siya. Okay? That is equal to 2 cosine theta. Okay? Derived from the right triangle. So substituting, we have this one. So cancel common terms. Common between the numerator and the denominator. 2, cancel 2. And cancel also cosine theta. So what is left is 2 sine theta d theta. So you can now integrate. So 2 is a constant. You can place that behind. So therefore, 2 times the integral of sine theta d theta. And we know that the integral of sine is negative cosine. Why negative cosine? Because when we take the differential or derivative of cosine is negative sign. But since wala namang negative sign dito sa integrand, so that's why dito nilagay sa sagot, no? So negative 2 cosine theta plus c. Okay? But we do not leave our answers in terms of theta because that is not the given. Okay? So take note that the given is x dx. Okay? So it must be in terms of x. Okay? So, substituting cosine theta, saan natin makukuha yung cosine? Dun sa right triangle. Okay? From here, merong 2 cosine theta. Tanggalin nyo lang yung 2. Divide both sides by 2 so that you get cosine theta is equal to the square root of 4 minus x squared all over 2. Or 1/2 times the square root of 4 minus x squared. Okay? So, sinubstitute lang ito dito. So, we have negative 2 times this one plus c. We cancel 2. And that's why the final answer is negative of the square root of 4 minus x squared plus c. Okay? Any question? Substitution ang ginamit. Okay? Yung x, 2 sine theta. Siya, no? Yung dx, 2 cosine theta d theta. Dun sa representation, kinuha natin yung differential ng both sides. Okay, differential ng x is dx. Diba? Ito. Differential ng 2 sine theta, 2 cosine theta d theta. Okay? Okay, let's take another example. Okay, we have integral of dx all over 4x squared plus 9. O, plus ito. Diba? So, tangent yung substitution natin. Okay? So, the substitution is this one, the second. Case number 2. Okay? Kasi, it follows u squared plus a squared. So, the substitution is, let the variable u or x be equal to the constant times tangent theta. Okay? But before you can apply this substitution, be sure na nakasquare yung constant a tsaka yung variable u. Express ninyo in terms of square. Okay? So, balikan natin yung given. So, that means to say, ang naka-square lang dito, x squared. So, dapat i-express natin yung 4 tsaka 9 in terms of square. Okay? So, this is 2 squared x squared plus 3 squared. Okay? Now, yung 2 squared tsaka x squared, you can combine that 2x close quantity squared. Okay? 2x, yun ang nasa loob ng parenthesis, 2x close quantity squared. So that it follows u squared. Okay? Yung 9, gawin ninyong 3 squared. So that a is equal to 3. Okay? A should be 3 and not 9. Kasi i-square nyo muna yon. 3 squared para makuha nyo yung A. Okay? Kasi yung iba ginagamit na A ay hindi 3 kundi 9. It's not correct, no? Kailangan kasi it follows the case, no? So, i-square nyo muna to. So, magiging 2x close quantity squared plus 3 squared. And then, identify nyo na. So, yung u dito is 2x and a is 3. Okay? So, sa substitution, let u be equal to a tangent theta. But our u is 2x. So, 2x is equal to 3 tangent theta. Okay? So, therefore, solve for x. So, that is 3 halves tangent theta. Divide both sides by 2. Okay? And then, pag meron na tayong x, stand alone na yung x, then that's the time to get the differential of both sides. So, differential of x is dx. What is differential ng tangent? Secant squared, di ba? So, 3 halves secant squared theta d theta. Okay? Now, from the substitution 2x is equal to 3 tangent theta, we can derive the tangent of the angle theta, and that is equal to 2x over 3. Okay? 2x over 3. So, itong tangent theta is equal to 2x over 3 will be our basis of drawing the right triangle. Okay? So, if theta is the acute angle, and we know that tangent is opposite over adjacent, so opposite the angle theta is the side 2x of the right triangle. Okay? And then adjacent side is 3. Okay? So pag drinawin nyo yan, ganito siya. Opposite of the angle is 2x. And the other side of the right triangle is 3. Okay? Kasi tangent nito, no? Tangent ng theta is opposite, which is 2x divided by the adjacent. Okay, the adjacent to the angle theta, so that is 3. So dito, na-label na natin sa right triangle yung dalawang legs ng right triangle. You can already put a value on the hypotenuse using the Pythagorean Theorem. No? So this hypotenuse will now be equal to what? 3 squared plus 2x squared. Okay? So, the square root of 3 squared plus 2x squared, or the square root of 9 plus 4x squared. Okay? So, you can now draw that triangle and then substitute. Pwede na tayo mag-substitute dito. So, what is dx? Ito siya. 3 halves secant squared. Theta d theta. So, how are you going to represent 4x squared plus 9? Hmm? Kasi dapat in terms of theta na siya. Kasi yung dx, ito siya. 3 halves secant squared theta d theta. So, yung 4x squared plus 9, how are you going to substitute that? Four x squared plus 9. So kung makikita nyo sa triangle, okay, ang sa numerator natin is secant. Di ba? Secant. So from the triangle, wala tayong secant, di ba? Meron tayo cosine. Di ba? So that is cosine theta is 3 divided by hypotenuse. Which is, ano yung hypotenuse? Square root of 9 plus 4x squared. Okay? So, instead of cosine, we can make use of the secant being the inverse of cosine. Di ba secant is 1 over cosine? Okay? Secant is 1 over cosine. So therefore, solving for secant, so you just get the reciprocal kasi ang secant is reciprocal ng cosine. If in the figure, ang cosine natin is 9, di ba? Ang cosine natin is 3, not 9. 3 over the square root of 9 plus 4x squared. So yung secant niya is the reverse. Okay? Hypotenuse over 3, no? So, i-substitute natin yung dito. Ito na siya. Secant theta is 1 over cosine and that is just, okay, we reverse the equivalent of cosine. Okay, di ba kanina cosine theta is adjacent over the hypotenuse. So, adjacent niya is 3 divided by 4x squared plus 9. But this time, so we get the reciprocal of cosine, that is secant. So, babalik ta rin lang natin yung 3 over the square root of 4x squared plus 9. And we have the square root of 4x squared plus 9 all over 3. Okay? So, multiplying both sides by 3 para matanggal yung denominator. So, magiging 3 secant theta is equal. Now, since mahirap mag-solve pag may mga radical sign, then you get rid of the radical sign, you square both sides. No? Squaring these both sides, so we have 3 secant theta. Pag in-square mo, that is 9 secant squared. Okay? 9 secant squared theta. Then this one, mawawala lang dito yung radical sign. So only 4x squared plus 9. So we can now substitute, no? You substitute now, so that is dx. Ano yung dx kanina? 3 halves, di ba? Ito siya, 3 halves secant squared. So 3 halves, okay, secant squared theta d theta. And yung 4x squared plus 9 is equal to 9 secant squared theta. Okay? So nakikita nyo yung mga substitution. Basta dapat may right triangle kayo in the drawing, no? Para hindi kayo malito. So we have, cancel yung alin. So you can cancel the secant squared kasi parehas meron. Meron sa numerator, may sa denominator. So you take that out, you cancel both secant squared on top and at the bottom. And then what remains is what? 3 halves d theta over 9. Okay? 3 halves d theta kasi nawala na nga yung secant squared na cancel. Excuse me. Okay? So na-cancel yung secant squared, so natira na lang d theta. Okay? At yung 3 halves. Now, yung 3 halves tsaka 9, 3 halves divided by 9, you simplify that further, no? So that is equal to 3, okay, over yung constant na, no? So you combine 3 halves divided by 9. Okay? So 3 halves times 1, 9. So cancel yung 3 tsaka 9. So magiging 1/6. Okay? So 1/6 is a constant. You can place that behind. So 1/6 integral of d theta, theta. So 1/6 theta plus c. But that's not yet the final answer. Wala naman tayong theta sa given. So we represent that, or we get the transformation of that dun sa mayroong x. No? So how are you going to solve for theta? Okay? So solving for theta, that is arctangent dito. No? So solving for theta, arctangent of 2x over 3. Okay? So this is integral of the theta is theta. So 1/6 theta plus c. But theta, based on the substitution, paano nyo kukunin? So we have this one. Bakit nagkaroon ng arctan? Kasi galing dito sa 2x is equal to 3 tangent theta. Solve for the tangent of theta, 2x over 3. Diba? Tangent yun. Kaso theta lang ang hinahanap natin. So therefore, theta is arctangent of 2x over 3. Okay? So we have 1/6 arctangent 2x over 3 plus c. That's the final answer. Okay? So, or if you want, you can put a parenthesis here. Okay? Dito sa arctangent, then enclose that in a parenthesis, yung 2x over 3 or 2/3 x. Okay? So you can place a parenthesis here para hindi malito yung magbabasa no? Magbabasa nito. So usually an angle, usually 2x over 2 is the angle. No? Arctangent of this is, you cannot solve that anymore as is na yun. So 1/6 arctan close quantity 2x over 3 plus c. Okay? Any questions dito kung bakit ito na lang natira? Kasi baga may secant squared sa taas, may secant squared sa baba, you can cancel that out. Okay? But except yung d theta, huwag niyong tatanggalin yung d theta. No? Any questions? Okay. Okay, try to analyze first before we move to the next problem. Okay, any question? Nakuha nyo ba yung sequencing ng substitution? Ipapattern nyo lang dun sa case 1, case 2, case 3. Okay? And trigonometric to, so therefore, lahat ng given, ita-transform ninyo into trigo function. Okay? Ang i-integrate nyo na, so look at the transformation, di ba? From x naging theta. Na may secant or cosine or sine. Because the method that is used is trigonometric substitution. Okay? Now, the aid of the right triangle is very important. Okay? So you have to draw that so that you can derive the transformation. Okay? So this is 1/6 arctan of 2x over 3 plus c. Now, also, the answer, pwede nyo rin gamitan to ng instead na word arctan. Ito kasi in-spell lahat, di ba, arctan. Pwede rin yung tangent na may -1 as parang exponent, no? Arctan din yun. Okay? Or pwede rin you can spell out arctan, no? Kung ayaw yung symbol, no? So yung symbol ng arctan is tangent na parang may -1 sa taas. Okay? So pwede rin yun. Now, do not forget the constant of integration. Okay, for your exercises, okay, you do 10.5. So that's 10 problems. Okay, so homework ito, 10.5. Anyway, I have sent this dun sa ano niyo, no? Sa Google Classroom. Marami pala yung 10.5. It's not just 10 problems. It extends to 15. Okay? So there are 15 problems to be solved. Okay? So medyo marami, no? Para ma-practice kayo. Okay, next is, by the way, question? May question ba? Okay, of course, aside from those trigonometric substitution, actually may naka-ready na siyang mga answers, no? kumbaga, formula, no? So take a look at these additional standard formulas. Okay, so ilan tong formula? There are still 8, no? So there are 8 more formulas. Actually, pinaka-shortcut na to kasi all you need to do is simply apply the formula, no? So for example, itong integral of du over u squared plus a squared. Okay? So definitely, if you know the formula, you can immediately apply this. So that is 1 over the constant, so 1 over a, times arctangent to u over a plus c. Okay? So kung i-apply nyo yan dito, sa, ayan, dito, pwede nyo i-apply sa example. Okay? Only that, i-express nyo muna lahat in terms of squares, no? So this transforms into dx all over 2x closed quantity squared plus 3 squared. Yun yung transformation na to, no? So that you can apply directly the formula. 2x squared plus 3 squared, di ba? So, pwede nyo yan i-apply dito sa first formula for additional standard formulas. Okay, that problem belongs to the first, no? du over u squared plus a squared. Provided, dapat, nakasquare na yung u tsaka a. So, dun baga sa given, pinatter na natin, naging 2x closed quantity squared plus 3 squared. Okay? 2x closed quantity squared plus 3 squared. So, the formula is 1 over the constant times arctangent of the variable u divided by the constant a plus c. Okay, so let's apply that. 1 over a, ano yung a natin? 3, di ba? So we have, kasi 9 siya eh. Di ba? Yung, ito siya oh. Ito, no? So 2x closed quantity squared plus 3 squared. So 1 over a, so 1/3, no? 1/3 times arctangent of u. At yung u baga natin is what? 2x. Okay? 2x. Okay? Provided, you can, okay, may ano pala dito, no? These standard formulas are applicable only, may condition pala dito, provided, no, that du is an exact differential, no? Exact differential ng u. Eh since yung u baga natin is 2x, tapos yung given is dx, so may kulang dito, di ba? May kulang siyang 2. Kasi yung u dito is 2x. So pag tinake mo yung differential nun, it should be 2dx. But since the given does not have 2, then we need to introduce 2. Okay? And then balance that by 1/2. Okay? 1/2. Lagyan mo ng 1/2 dito sa likod and then lagyan ng 2 sa taas. So that we can now apply the formula 1/3. Mayroon tayong 1/2 times 1/3 is 1/6. Diba? O 1/6 bagay yung nasa ano. over 3 plus c. Yun yung answer dito. Eksakto na siya, no? 1/6 arctan 2x over 3 plus c. But I don't want you to rely always on the formula. Mas maganda yung nagde-derive kayo, yung gumagawa kayo ng right triangle. Okay? Kasi pag nag-memorize kayo, the tendency is for you to forget immediately. So, itong mga standard formulas na to are only guide for you, no? Yung talagang gusto nyo ma-solve kagad, then this is it, no? Yung standard formulas. So, yun, nalaman natin anong ina-apply natin to. So, it should be the numerator du should be an exact differential of the denominator u squared. Okay? Ito pa yung ibang formula. Du over u squared minus a squared. So, it follows the what? I think that's the third formula. Ito, u squared minus a squared. So, use the substitution u is equal to a secant theta. Any questions? So, mga guide lang to, itong mga standard formulas. Okay? So, may condition dito ha. You cannot immediately apply this, itong mga shortcut formula na to, unless yung du naging exact differential ng u. Okay? So, take note that before you can apply this also, be sure na naka-express in terms of squares, yung mga denominator, no? So, u squared plus a squared, u squared minus a squared, okay, so that you can apply. Ito baga yung kanina, di ba? So, applying the shortcut formula, so, i-make sure lang natin is dx exact differential ng 4x squared. Hindi, di ba? Kasi if we are going to express this, dapat 2x closed quantity squared. So, is dx exact differential ba nung 2x? No. Because the differential of 2x is what? Differential ng 2x is 2dx, di ba? So, dapat 2dx. Kaso, sa given, walang 2, dx lang. So, mag-introduce tayo ng 2 and then introduce also 1/2 behind. That's why nagkaroon dito na 1/2. Okay? Now, so that is 1/2, yung nilagay dito, times 1/3, because that is 1 over a. Ang a natin is 3. Kasi 3 squared is 9. Okay? So we have 1/2 times 1/3 is 1/6 arctan. So ito, in-apply na dito yung standard formula. So magbabalance kayo dito. Okay? Kasi ito baga 2x yung u. Okay? 2x. Differential ng 2x should be 2dx. So introduce ninyo yung 2 and then introduce also 1/2. So that's why nagkaroon kayo dito. Okay? So kapag balance na siya, then that's the time you apply the formula. So 1/2 times 1/3 arctan of 2x over 3 plus c. And then simplify. Okay? Okay, so similarly, ganun din dito. Okay? Or any questions? Okay, so ito naman ang example is dx all over the square root of 4 minus x squared. O this time, nauuna yung constant. So anong case yan? Pag nauuna yung constant. Okay, we have this one, a squared minus u squared, case number 1. So ang substitution ninyo is let the variable be equal to a sine theta. Okay? So a sine theta. And then, yung kung apply nyo yung formula dito, okay? Ito siya, no? That is, ano ba yung problem dati? Four minus x squared integral, no? And square root of 4 minus x. So, nauna yung constant. So, kung i-apply nyo rito, nauna yung constant, ito siya. Itong SF5, ito dito, no? So, formula number 5 tayo. So, arc sine of u over a plus c, provided that du is an exact differential of u. Okay? So, arc sine of u over a, provided du is an exact differential of u. Okay? So, dito a is 2 and u be equal to x. So, we apply the formula arc sine of x over 2 plus c. Okay? So, arc sine of x over 2 plus c. Okay? Kasi malinaw naman dito na yung a is 2. 2 squared minus x squared. Okay? O, ito namang dx divided by 9x squared minus 16. Paano nyo sasagutin? Okay, so nakita nyo ba kung bakit naging ganun yung solution? So, i-express nyo muna itong 9x squared. Gawin ninyong 3x closed quantity squared. Okay? Minus, itong 16, gawin yung 4 squared. Okay? So, 3x closed quantity squared minus 4 squared. Okay? And then, isa-isahin nyo na, no? So, let u be equal to 3x and a is 4, hindi 16, no? A should be 4. Basta i-express din yung squares. Okay? So, you take the differential of both sides. Differential of u is du. Okay? And then, differential ni 3x is 3dx. Okay? So, magbabalance kayo ngayon, di ba? So, you have 3dx and then 1/3 dito sa kabila. Okay? So, we have nauna yung variable squared. So tingnan natin. Variable squared minus constant squared. So case number 3. Ito siya, no? So this is case number 3. And use u equal to a secant a. So case number 3 siya. Okay. So let u be equal to 3x, d is 3dx. So balance that. And then apply the formula. Kasi yung mga standard na lang ginamit dito. No? Okay. So it is, ito, number 1 tayo. No? Ano ba yung given? Ito, no? Yung formula, this is variable squared minus constant squared. So saan yun? Variable squared tayo, no? Ito, variable squared minus constant squared. So hanapin natin dun sa standard. Baka meron. Case number 2 tayo. Ito. Kasi variable squared minus constant squared. So tingnan uli nga natin. Yes, this is variable squared minus constant squared. So wala siya dun sa tatlong case. Okay? So wala siya sa tatlong case. Tingnan nga natin, go back para sigurado. Meron case 3. Case 3, no? So you can apply this or you can apply the standard, no? So kung standard, ito siya. Variable squared minus, ito siya, standard formula number 2. Wherein, pero bago nyo i-apply to, dapat be sure na yung numerator is an exact differential of the variable in the denominator. So dapat yung du is exact differential ng u squared. Okay? So you can apply this kapag na-balance nyo na, then 1 over twice the constant, so 1 over 2a, times the natural log of the absolute value of the variable minus the constant all over the variable plus the constant plus c. Okay? So you can also, pwede nyong gamitin to 1 over 2a times ln of u over a, or u minus a all over u plus a plus c. So you try this and itry nyo ring isolve using case number 3 na magsasubstitute kayo and magdodraw kayo ng right triangle. And then you compare the results. Okay? So dito baga, 3x ang variable. So ano yung exact differential niya? Should be 3dx. Diba? So since wala siyang 3, introduce ninyo yung 3 dito and then introduce also 1/3. Okay? So 1/3 times 1 over 2a. So ang a natin is 8. ang A natin is 4 kasi 16, 4 square, di ba? So A is 4, so 2 times 4 is 8, kaya nagkaroon ng 1/8 dyan, 1 over 2A. Okay? So itong 1/3 na to is galing doon sa 3 na inintroduce natin, ito yung reciprocal, 1/3. Pero itong 1/8 galing to sa 1 over 2A. Where A is 4 kasi 4 square, kailangan naka-square, di ba? So 1 over 2A and A is 4, so 2 times 4 is 8, kaya nagkaroon ng 1/8. Then natural log of U minus A, so that is 3x minus 4 all over 3x plus 4, absolute value, ln, no, plus C. And then simplify further, we have 1 over 24 times the natural log of the absolute value of 3x minus 4 all over 3x plus 4 plus C. Okay? So you try this, yung kung by substitution. Kasi to, in-apply dito yung standard formula. Kasi shortcut yung standard formula. So you try to check this, itong answer dito sa standard formula, i-check ninyo by using the substitution method. Tingnan nyo kung ano yung lalabas. Okay? So try nyo yan. Okay, you have another assignment, so that is 10.6. Okay? O, isolve nyo nga muna to, gusto kong makita. Etong example number 3, sinolve dito sa presentation ko. Ang solution niya is based on the standard formula. Okay, i-prove natin tong sagot niya kung talagang ito yung sagot. So i-prove natin, gawin ninyo yung substitution method. Okay? Gawin nyo yung substitution. So that is case number 3. Ito, no? U squared minus A squared. So gagawin nyo, let U be equal to A secant theta. Okay? Yung substitution ninyo and then draw a right triangle. Okay, start now. So titingnan ko kung mapapalabas na yung sagot na to. Okay? Okay, try it now. Gusto kong malaman kung ito talaga yung sagot. No? Using substitution, yung let U be equal to A secant theta. Case number 3. Okay, do it now. Okay, nakuha niyo ba yung using substitution? Parehas ba yung lumabas? Anong lumabas sa nasagot sa inyo? May nakakuha ba? Parehas ba yung sagot sa using the standard formula? So anong gagawin nyo? Let u be equal to what? Or x, no? So ang u natin dito is um, 3x. So let 3x be equal to 4 sine, no? 4 sine. Okay, nakuha nyo ba? Okay, include that in your assignment kung hindi nyo na palabas. No? Okay, next we have integrands involving quadratic expressions. Okay, we have this one. Okay, so the problem of integrating involving quadratic expressions. So we have integral of the square root of f of x dx, dx over the square root of f of x, or dx over f of x, where f of x is quadratic expression in x. So it says here that the process of completing the squares is an important aid in evaluating this type of integral. So you try to go back to algebra and review how to complete the squares. Okay? So by completing the squares, the quadratic expression is transformed into the sum or difference of two squares. Then the appropriate standard formula can be picked from the list, no, yung kaninang mga standard formula, no, to evaluate the integral in question. Okay, so for example, we have this one, dx all over 4x squared plus 12x plus 25. Okay, now this is quadratic because the highest exponent of the variable is squared. Okay, 4x squared. So this is quadratic equation. Okay? So by completing the square, so you take a look kung paano ginawa yung completing the squares. So sineperate muna yung 25. Okay, so you divide 12, yung coefficient of x is 12. So you divide it by 2 and then you square that. So if you divide this by 2, so that is 6. Okay? Oh, so you divide muna by ano, no? By 4, no? So magiging x squared plus 3x. Okay? So by completing the squares, so pwede rin um, tanggalin nyo muna yung 4, or you can separate 25 being perfect square. So 9 plus 16. Okay? Yung 25 is rewritten as 9 plus 16. Then 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. So that is 2x plus 3 closed quantity squared plus 16. Okay? So by factoring, eto, kinuha yung square root nito tsaka square root nun. So that is 2x plus 3. Okay? Okay, so this is completing the squares. Okay. And the given is transformed into the integral of dx all over 2x plus 3 closed quantity squared plus 16. So this is plus. So gagawin nyo is tangent, no? Yung may tangent. Okay, so eto, no? So kung by substitution, gagawin niyo let u or let x be equal to a tangent theta. Okay, or using the standard formula, Okay, so ito yung number 1. Case number 1, formula, standard formula number 1, provided dapat yung du is an exact differential of u before you apply this, no? So that is 1 over a arctan of u over a plus c. Okay? So dito, okay, um, 2x plus 3, kunin nyo yung differential nan, it should be 2dx. So since wala siyang 2, introduce 2, and then introduce 1 half. Kaya nagkaroon ng 1 half. So ang a natin is 4 because 16, you have to rewrite that as a 4 squared. Okay? So 1 half times 1 fourth. Okay? Times the arctangent of u, which is 2x plus 3 over a, so over 4 plus c. And then simplifying, we have 1/8 times arctangent of 2x plus 3 all over 4 plus c. Okay? So ginamit dito is using the standard formula. But you can also apply yung substitution method. Ito, no? Yung let u be equal to a tangent theta. Okay, so let u, kung gagamitin nyo yung substitution, ano yung u? 2x plus 3, di ba? So let that 2x plus 3 be equal to 4 tangent theta. Okay? So if you are going to make use of this, no? So 2x plus 3 equal to 4 tangent theta. Okay? So magdodraw kayo ng right triangle. The opposite is 2x plus 3 and the adjacent is 4, no? So that this is 16 plus 2x plus 3 squared. Okay? So you check also kung mapapalabas niyo yung eto, no? Yung 1/8 arctangent of 2x plus 3. Okay? So that is dx all over 2x. Okay? Okay? So you try to solve that using substitution and palabasin nyo to, no? Okay, yung second problem. So we have the integral of 5 minus 4x minus x squared dx. Okay? So by completing the squares again, so you take the negative sign so that 4x minus x squared becomes positive. So that is closed quantity x squared plus 4x. Okay? So bakit nagkaroon ng plus 4 dito? You divide 4x by 2 then square. So 4 over 2 squared, so that is 4. Okay? So we have 9. Okay? And then bakit nagkaroon ng 9? Because of this, no? Nag-add kayo ng 4 but then minus, okay? So minus 4. So 9 minus 4 is 5. Okay? So by completing the squares, dapat ganito siya. 9 minus the quantity x plus 2 close quantity squared. Okay? So transform this, ganito na siya. Okay, square root of 9 minus the quantity x plus 2 squared dx. Okay? So this takes the form of what? So balikan natin yung mga standard formula. Okay, so dito yung it takes the form of dito number 6 standard formula. Okay, tingnan ko lang ah. So minus, no? Formula number 6. Okay? So you're going to apply the standard formula. You have u over 2 times the square root of a squared minus u squared plus a squared over 2 arc sine u over a plus c. So this is quite longer, no? So provided, as I've said, itong mga standard formula, see to it that du is an exact differential of u. Okay? Otherwise, kung hindi siya exact, then you need to balance. No? Mag-introduce kayo dito sa du and then balance by the reciprocal. So let's try this. Okay, so dx, exact siya. So wala tayong kailangang i-balance. Okay, so that is u over a. Balikan natin. No? U over 2. Okay. And then plus a squared over 2 arc sine. So this is u, x plus 2 over 2. Okay, times the square root of 5 minus 4x minus x squared. Kasi dito is yung sa integral, no? Babalikan nyo yung given. Ito, this is the given. So yun din ang i-rewrite nyo dito. And then plus a squared over 2 arc sine of u over a. Okay, so plus, okay, a squared. Ang a squared natin is, this is 3 squared. And a squared is 9, so that is 9 over 2. Arc sine of u, so that is x plus 2 over a, which is 3. Kasi 3 squared to plus c. Okay? So ito na yung pinaka-answer. You cannot reduce that anymore to lowest term. Okay? Any question dito? So take note dito, no? So you have to go back to your algebra. See to it that um, you review the balancing of squares. Okay? Or the, what do you call that? Completing the squares, no? So itong 5, bakit naging 9? Because of this, no? Nag-add kasi ng 4. Okay? So mag-add ka rin doon ng 4, kaya 9. Okay? Nag-plus 4 ka dito, mag-plus 4 ka doon, kaya 9. So 9 minus 4, pag distribute nyo yung negative sign, negative of 4 is negative 4. So 9 minus 4, go back to 5 siya. So this is correct. Okay? Okay. There are times na may mga integral na linear ang numerator. Okay? And the denominator is quadratic. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, g of x over f of x, where g of x is linear and then f of x is quadratic. Okay? So, kapag ganun yung given, you must be able to reduce the given into a form for which a standard integration can be applied. Okay? So, for example, this one. So, meron tayong linear 2x plus 9 divided by x squared plus 2x plus 5. Okay? So, kapag kinuha ninyo yung let u be equal to quadratic, no? So, you let u be equal to x squared plus 2x plus 5, or let u be equal to the denominator, then get the differential. So, differential of u, both sides. So, this is 2x plus 2 dx. So, 2x plus 2 close quantity dx. Okay? So, 2x plus 2, sabi dito, will lead us to the trick of writing the numerator as if it is 2x plus 9. Okay? So, we have 2x plus 2 plus 7. Kumbaga, i-rewrite natin yung 2x plus 9 as 2x plus 2 plus 7. Okay? Because pinapattern natin yung sa numerator na 2x plus 9. Okay? So writing the numerator as 2x plus 9 into the form 2x plus 2 plus 7. Okay? So we have 2x plus 2 plus 7 all over x squared plus 2x plus 5. Okay? So we have break this into two integrals. So we have 2x plus 2 dx all over the denominator, and then plus 7 dx integral, no? All over the same denominator. And then integrate one at a time. Okay? So ito baga, this is exact differential, di ba, ng sa baba. Kasi 2x plus 2. So wala na kayo introduce. So this is equal to the absolute value of the natural log of the denominator. Okay. Plus, we have 7 halves arctan of x plus 1 all over 2 plus c. Okay. So kinomplete yung squares dito, x squared plus 2x plus 5 as x plus 1 squared plus 4. So this is exact differential. Differential of x plus 1 is dx. So exact. So therefore, we have 7 times 1 over a. So yung a natin is 2 kasi 2 squared is 4. So 7 times 1 half, so that is 7 halves. Then arctan of x plus 1 over 2 plus c. Okay? So this is now the final answer. Okay? Ito wala, hindi ito absolute value, itong absolute value ha. Ito wala ito. So that is ln of the absolute value of x squared plus 2x plus 5 plus 7 halves times arctan of x plus 1 all over 2 plus c. Okay, any questions? Okay, 10.7. Assignment. Oh, up to 20 pala to, no? Dami. Okay? Okay, let's start up to, dyan lang muna, no? Kasi masyadong marami na yung assignment. Okay? So, homework will be up to 10.7. 10.5, 6, 7. Okay? So, yun muna. Tatlo yung assignment nyo, no? Is this A and B or only A? Ah? A lang ba to?
A and B
and
na
B
po,
na?
sir.
Okay. May si Adeline. Nalilito ka sa pag-draw ng triangle? Sinong nalilito aside from Adeline? Okay, saan nyo kukunin yung rectangle, triangle? Paano nyo ito-draw? Doon sa substitution. Doon nyo kukunin sa substitution, no? So halimbawa, let's go back to Okay, so dito nyo to kukunin dito. Dito sa x is equal to 2 sine theta. So halimbawa dito, no? Paano nyo do-draw yung right triangle? Is after letting u be equal to a sine theta. Okay? So dito baga, given is x dx all over the square root of 4 minus x squared. So it follows, anong formula to? Yung may minus, constant, di ba? Minus the variable squared. So dito siya. Ito, formula ng case number 1. Okay? Kasi a squared, constant squared minus the variable squared. So ang substitution ninyo dito is let the variable be equal to a, yung constant, times sine theta. Okay? So dito, let x be equal to 2 sine theta. Okay? Kasi dapat isusunod niya rito, no? So ang gagawin nyo is i-express nyo yung 4 as naka-square. So paano nyo naka-square yan? 2 squared, di ba? 2 squared minus x squared. Okay? And then, ang transformation ninyo is, of course, ang a ninyo is 2. Marami kasi nalilito dito na kapag ganito yung given, automatic, nakita nilang 4, yun yung a. Hindi yun ang a. Ang a is the square root of 4. Okay? Square root ng 4, which is 2. Yun yung a. Okay? Etong x, since naka-square na siya, wala na siyang problema. Kasi naka-squared na siya. So let u be equal to x. Okay? And a is 2. Then we follow the formula na let u be equal to a sine theta. Eh yung u natin is x. So x is equal to a, which is 2 sine theta. So ito na yung gagawa natin ng right triangle. So paano tayo makakagawa dito ng right triangle? sa x is equal to 2 sine theta. Kunin nyo muna yung sine theta. Solve for sine theta dito. So, alisin nyo yung 2, divide both sides by 2. So, matitira dito sa right, sine theta na lang, di ba? Kasi dinivide natin ang 2. Sa left-hand side, ano nang mangyayari sa left-hand side? Magiging x over 2. Correct? So, meron tayong nakuhang equation na sine theta is equal to x over 2. O, yung sine theta equals x over 2, gawa na natin ng right triangle na yung theta is the angle and alam natin na kapag sine of the angle, ano yung formula na yon? Yung SOHCAHTOA, di ba? Sine theta is equal to opposite over the hypotenuse. Di ba? So sine theta is equal to opposite over the hypotenuse. I-equate nyo yon, x over 2. So ano yung nasa numerator? X. Di ba? So, yung opposite side mo is x. And yung hypotenuse mo is 2. So, gawan mo siya ng right triangle. Nandito yung... So, gawa ka ng right triangle. Okay. Okay, ito siya, no? So, gawa ka ng right triangle. Ilagay mo yung theta dito. Opposite ng theta, i-label mo ng x. Okay? And then, yung x over 2, di ba over 2, sine theta is equal to x over 2. Yung over 2 is the hypotenuse. So, i-drawing mo yung 2 doon sa hypotenuse. And then, itong side na wala pang label, dyan mo na i-apply yung Pythagorean, gagamitin mo na si 2 tsaka si x. And that is the square root of 4 minus x squared. Okay? Nakuha nyo na ba? Si Adeline, nakuha na? O, tingnan naman natin dito sa kabila. O, dito sa 4x squared plus 9. Okay? Paano nyo ito gagawa ng right triangle? So, i-express nyo muna everything in square, no? So, this is 2x closed quantity squared plus 3 squared. Okay? 2x closed quantity squared plus 3 squared, yung 9. And then, let u, ang u ninyo dito is 2x at yung a ninyo is 3, hindi 9, no? Ang constant ninyo is 3 kasi 3 squared is 9. Okay? So, ito na yung substitution natin. 2x is equal to 3 tangent theta. Saan to galing? Doon sa formula. Ito siya. Formula doon sa second one na kapag mayroong u squared plus a squared, let the substitution be u is equal to a tangent theta. No? So, let u be equal to a tangent theta. So, let u, yung 2x natin, be equal to a, which is 3 tangent theta. Okay? So, isolve ninyo yung tangent theta dito. Okay? Isolve ninyo ito dito sa first pa lang, sa substitution. You solve for tangent theta, that is equal to 2x over 3. Diba? So, tangent theta is equal to 2x over 3. Now, alam natin na ang tangent is from SOHCAHTOA, tangent is opposite over adjacent, di ba? Eh meron tayong 2x over 3. 2x is the numerator, so 2x is the opposite side. And then over 3, yung 3 is the adjacent. Okay? So kapag nag-draw tayo, eto na siya. Okay? Tangent of theta is equal to opposite is 2x. So, lagyan nyo ng label ng 2x, itong vertical side ng right triangle. Over adjacent, nandun si 3, over 3. Okay? So, ito na yung right triangle niya. Ito yung angle theta. And then, opposite is 2x, over adjacent is 3. Now, anong isusulat nyo sa hypotenuse? How are you going to label the hypotenuse? Use Pythagorean. This is the square root of 2x squared plus 3 squared. Okay? Or that is the square root of what? 4x squared plus 9. Okay? 4x squared plus 9. Okay? So kaya nagkaroon dito ng 4x squared plus 9. Okay? Now, bakit naman nagkaroon ng secant dito? Kasi ang tangent, ito kasi pag dinifferentiate na natin, we take the differential of both sides. Alam natin ang differential ng tangent is secant squared. Diba? Secant squared now. Find a way wherein you can express secant. Now, secant is 1 over cosine, di ba? 1 over cosine. So, reciprocal lang siya ng cosine. So, kung babalikan mo yung right triangle, ang cosine nito is 3 divided by the hypotenuse, di ba? 3 divided by the square root of 4x squared plus 9. So, kung yung cosine ay 3 divided by hypotenuse, yung secant, hypotenuse divided by 3. Okay? Kaya, nagkaroon dito ng ito. Ang secant is hypotenuse, which is the square root of 4x squared plus 9, divided by 3. Okay? Ito na yung secant. Bakit kailangan natin si secant? Kasi, differential ng tangent is this. Secant squared. So, kapag nirepresent na natin doon, nag-substitute na tayo, yung dx natin may secant. So, paano magkakaroon ng secant yung 4x squared plus 9 is manggagaling dito. Dito na natin siya kukunin at yung square root ng 4x squared plus 9 is 3 times secant theta. Okay? 3 secant theta. But then, wala naman tong radical, yung given. So, we square both sides para matanggal tong radical na to. Eh, this is secant over 3. Pag in-square ninyo, secant squared over 9. Ito na siya. Okay? 9 secant squared pala. 9 secant squared. Kasi 3 secant theta. Saan ka gamitin mo? So we have, kasi baga yung given walang radical, di ba? Eh kaso based sa right triangle, hypotenuse siya, so meron siyang square root, 4x squared plus 9. So paano natin kukunin na wala siyang square root? So multiply nyo muna to by 3 para yung 3 lumipat sa secant, so magiging 3 secant theta. Correct? So since kailangan natin only is 4x squared plus 9, so kailangan natin matanggal yung radical. So ang gagawin natin, we square both sides. So squaring both sides, matatanggal yung square root sign sa right, and yung sa left-hand side, yung 3 secant theta, pag in-square mo, that is 9 secant squared. Ito na siya, no? 9 secant squared. Okay? Such that, pag sinubstitute na natin dito, yung dx, ito na siya, di ba? Yung dx, ang isusulat nyo, 3 halves secant squared theta d theta. Etong 4x squared plus 9, mapapalitan na ng 9 secant squared. Okay? So, ito na siya. Okay? Nakita ninyo yung transformation? Kung bakit kailangan natin yung secant? Okay? At saan manggagaling yung secant? Reciprocal siya ng cosine, di ba? Ang secant baga is 1 over cosine. So, kunin niyo yung secant, kunin niyo muna yung cosine nito from the right triangle, then kunin niyo yung reciprocal nun. Okay? So, ito na siya. All in terms of secant. So, tingnan niyo kung may mga common term, cancel. May secant squared sa taas, may secant squared sa baba, so cancel yung secant squared. So, natira dito sa taas, d theta, tsaka 3 halves. Okay? Now, 3 halves divided by 9, pwede nyo pang masimplify yung 3. Cancel nyo yung 3. Tapos dito magiging 1 na lang. Dito magiging 3. So 1 half divided by 3 is equal to 1/6. Okay? Kaya nagkaroon ng 1/6. Okay? Any question? So, solved na ba yung kung paano mag-draw ng what do you call that? Right triangle? Nakuha ba?
Opo, sir.
Okay.
Opo.
So, dun nyo yung kukunin sa substitution na let u be equal to like that. Okay? So, hanggang dun lang muna. And 10 point, ano yun? 5, 6, 7. So, medyo marami-rami yun, no? And then, gagawa na lang ako ng submission page dun sa Google Classroom.
Yung sa 3 saka 4 po, sir, wala pa pong submission page.
Naglagay na ako.
Saan
Kanina
po,
lang.
sir? Ay, kanina, sandali.
Oo, kanina lang. I-check nyo yung sa assignment ko yata. Nalagay ba yun? Okay, check na. Sa A and B, sa separate classroom. Sa class A, ay sa block A, and then meron din sa